Friday, January 17th, 4:38 p.m. New York time. Welcome back, investors, to Winning Wall Street's Money. U.S. stock markets close. We just finished another week. We are now halfway through the month of January. Lots of earnings this month. This video is going to go over comparing the NASDAQ-100 stock index, which is a stock index that's focused on technology stock companies. So that NASDAQ-100, I will look at the Magnificent 7 stocks, the most popular ones, the ones that most institutions are heavily weighted to. And these 7 companies are heavily weighted in this index, simply meaning the movement of those have a big say in how the index moves. So one could consider to invest in the stock index they are part of, or if you want to take higher risk, potentially higher rewards, you can look at the individual companies to invest in. Highly recommend you, if you haven't watched the video prior to this, with the sectors of the S&P 500, so you get a better insight on comparing this stock index I'm about to show you and these single stocks to the diversified sectors on the other video. Very informative. So here we are with the Magnificent 7 stocks in alphabetical order. They're green. That means they all closed green. They all closed higher from where they opened for the day. That's all you know from looking at that. Other than the percentage change, the dollar change, right off the bat again, green closed above where they opened for the day. Not enough information to be well informed. Well, this is the NASDAQ-100 stock index. Bottom left is the low from the year 2020. And the top right here is the high of 2024. Way above the lows. Outstanding. We're below the highs of last year. Above the lows of last year. So we're inside the range of last year. That's right. We're already halfway through the month, and they haven't taken out the high of last year yet. For the week, we reversed. Yep. We closed green for the week above the close of last week. The close of last week was down here, the bottom of this body. But the momentum is still down. Lower highs, lower lows. This green horizontal level has been a key support level. Here is a swing high, broke above it on that strength, closed above it. A lot of price action occurred on a retracement. A lot of price action occurred again. Situational awareness, be of that. Look at this chart for a minute and notice the trading range of the current candles. Right off the bat, you should see the trading range has a lot more price action. The length of them, height, is a lot more than here. This was the beginning of last year. Beginning of this year, see? The candles are taller. More price action. That's simply all that means. More price action. Means the high and low had a bigger range for that week. Lower highs, lower lows. Now let's go look at the Magnificent 7 in alphabetical order. First one's Apple. So here's the stock symbol, left side of the chart, and up here on the top left of the chart too. 5-year chart. Here's the low for the past 5 years, and the high right here last year. Well, this year, we already made a new low for the week. Lower low, lower high. Again, comparing the stock index, which made a new low for the year, it closed green. So the stock index for the month, for the year, is better performing than Apple. That's what we want to compare these individual companies, see how they're performing, the stock index. Yep. So Apple's still inside the range of last year. Here's the low of last year. Here's the high of last year. All these Magnificent Seven closed green, you see? Amazon. Here's a low for the past 5 years, bottom left. And last year was a high for the past 5 years, all-time high. Outstanding. Outstanding. See this orange vertical line? That week is when the Amazon got added to another stock index called a Dow 30. So if you're not informed, I'll share with you today. This stock index on the left, the NASDAQ-100, as well as the other index I just mentioned, the Dow 30, they are part of a bigger stock index called the S&P 500. So several of them have the same companies in those indexes. Again, Amazon has been from the start in the NASDAQ 100. Like I said, it got added last year to the Dow Jones. More indexes have it. Being that this is the low back there this year, that year, sorry, 2020. And then this was the low of 2022. This was the low of last year, 2024. The high of last year. So we're inside the range of last year for Amazon. Yep, here's the low of the year. Google. Yes, there's two stock symbols for Google. This is one I follow. Again, here's the low for the past 5 years, bottom left. You can see, here's the high of last year. So we're below the high of last year. Green for the candle. Huge consolidation up here. There's a gap here that still has not gotten filled yet. And here's the low of last year. Meta, aka used to be Facebook, Meta, which owns what? Owns WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, and several other companies. Here's the low for the year 2022, right here, 2022. Here's the low for 2023. Here's the low for 2024. Last year's high right here. So we're inside the range of last year. And Microsoft, here's the low for the year 2020. Low of 2022, the low of last year, the high of last year. So big difference. Here's a high last year. Look how far we are. And we did make a new low for this year, the lower low from last week. Big consolidation up here. You ever hear of this company? Hope so. Let me adjust it. Here's a low, 2020 back here. The high right there, last year. Or sorry, the high of this year and the low this year. Yep, so we took out the high of last year. This company also was added to the stock index of Dow Jones Industrial Average. Nice. Yep. When I say added, that means they took out one company and replaced it with this one. So this company is now in more indexes, just like I showed you Amazon. Nice. And Tesla. Here's the low, past 5 years. Hit the low 2023, the low 2024, the high of last year. We're inside the range of last year. And we took out the high of last week. So overall, when you compare them with the NASDAQ 100, not a huge difference. But again, these 7 companies have a huge impact on this stock index. So owning this stock index, you could buy it as a stock ETF. You'd be more diversified than owning these individual ones. And the difference is there's another index called a NASDAQ Composite. The NASDAQ Composite is the broad index of the companies, all the companies in the NASDAQ. So again, the top 100 are in another index called the NASDAQ 100. That's what we have here. Many people post one index and they don't realize there's two. Just like I mentioned, the Dow Jones, the Russell 2000, many other indexes. A little insight here. That sector rotation video, you would really be best looking at to understand where the smart money is rotating to. Is it still in technology? Is technology even one of the top 5 current? Well, for you to see that, you'd be best check out that video. If you like early access to this video, I have it on Patreon page. That link's below in this video. Thank you as always for spending just a little time with me. That's it for the video. Thank you for watching.